All right, guys, so this is our little coffee chat, lunch chat, water chat, whatever chat we have today, and just basically an open forum for you guys to get help or questions answered or struggles or even just sharing kind of like what's working for you guys, and just ask me anything you want. Hopefully it's not too scary and I can answer it. So you guys just nodded. You were all on the call. Any takeaways from there? Did you guys take anything away that was like, wow factor, or anything you learned?
I think the biggest thing for me is just being consistent in approaching people with either host opportunities or consultant opportunities on
Yeah.
a daily basis, because when you break it down to 1 or 2 people per day versus looking at 15 a week, looking at that smaller number on a daily basis makes it seem more manageable and less scary.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, consistency is really like one of the most important things that you can do in this business, right? We can work really hard for a week and then not work for 3 weeks, and we just deleted everything we did the week prior. So, slow and steady wins the race for sure. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Anything that I can help you with?
Probably my biggest challenge at this point, especially maybe being a guy, is making the initial conversations about Pamper Chef. I do have some like shirts and a ball cap that have Pamper Chef that sometimes gets the conversation started, but I think sometimes as a guy, I don't have I do finally did get a bag that I feel comfortable carrying that isn't very girly, so it's got Pamper Chef on it, so that is something that can lead into a conversation. But sometimes I have difficulty with that initial start of the conversation.
Okay. And I think, knowing that most chefs are men, actually that should sell a lot of people as well, right? So I'm sure everybody can agree on this call, right? If you had someone that's very confident and says, I can teach you some stuff in the kitchen, we do have lots of successful men as well. But I think, striking up the conversation out and about is always, I think I see where you're going as a man, right? Striking up a conversation with a woman could be a little taken the wrong way. But so I think it definitely helps if you have some kind of logo wear or shirt, or, I don't know, like you said, you have some kind of bag, but even just having some books or something, and maybe starting small and just complimenting people. And, if they ask, what do you do? And you're like, well, I'm with Pamper Chef. Are you familiar with that? I always tell people, don't say I'm not working, or, whatever, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Always say, I'm with the Pamper Chef. Are you familiar with that? And then just kind of strike up the conversation and say, hey, you know what? I actually teach people how to get dinner on the table, as a Pamper Chef rep, and I would love to teach you and your friends. Are you in need for some new recipes? And I think it's about like confident. If you come across confident, then they're not even going to question, you being a man, I would say. Does anyone else have any tips for Jason? Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
Does that help, Jason?
It does, and people that the more familiar I am with them, I do have more of that confidence level, because there are some coworkers, where we would, especially I had a part-time job where we would often cook meals together, and I would start it once I got into the business. I would use the Pamper Chef products, and get conversations going, and other people that the less I know them, the harder it is to get that initial conversation going. Like you say, I sometimes feel awkward coming up to a strange woman and trying to initiate the conversation without seeming creepy. or feeling like I'm coming across as creepy.
Right, and I could see that because we always say, start with a compliment. So if you walked up to a girl and you're like, "Hey, I love your shirt," she'd probably be like, "Who are you, little creepy dude?" Right? So are you part of the Men of the Apron Pampered Chef group?
I am not.
Okay, so ask Karen to add you, or message me and I'll add you. But I think that might be a better place to find out how people are doing it. Okay, so actually, guys, if you don't know, there's a group called Men of the Apron where all the Pampered Chef men are on, and they share what they're doing. So if you have any guys, they could help. And yeah, Michelle says, I would say call them cooking classes. That keeps it more educational. And I've been doing that as well. So I really try hard to not say party. I say cooking workshops or cooking classes. And that, kind of takes it to another level, I think, as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very helpful.
More people are joining. So what can I help you guys with? So all of you guys listened either live or to the replay of the call that we had on Tuesday. You know the requirements. Hopefully you know what you want and why you want it. So what are you struggling with, or what's working? Kathy, go ahead.
Question. Yesterday I went out around town prospecting, and I went to a local winery that its setting is like a bar, but it's a nice winery, and they have a room that they offer people for no price. That I could go in and do a Pampered Chef demonstration. I could have parties there with my clients or customers. But the only requirement is that somebody has to buy a bottle of wine. So this will be my first time.
That's a problem to have.
Yeah. So this will be my first time doing it. And I really, there's no microwave, there's no sink, it's just a room with tables and stuff. Do you have any suggestions on what sort of demo I would do?
There's lots of things you can do without a microwave. However, bringing a microwave is not that hard, but you could definitely just do like a chocolate fondue. You could do like a wine, cheese, and chocolate party if it's at a winery, right? So you could do the chocolate fondue and just plug that into the slow cooker, maybe melt it at home and then just kind of reheat it there. And then just maybe teaching them how to make a nice charcuterie, like a nice, like appetizer type thing.
Right.
Teach them how to entertain. And you could do something like that with different cheeses and maybe paired with some of the
wine. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Or even some kind of salad, or the make and take mason jars, how to, do a salad in a jar, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a great idea, guys. Actually, one of our local wineries here, and I don't know, maybe if it's a winery thing, but they have rooms and that we can use for free and hold events and all kinds of stuff. So that might be a good place to just kind of set up and invite your customers, and then have the winery send people over there and kind of come check things out.
Right. I also, yesterday, I belong to Weight Watchers, and I also asked my Weight Watcher leader if I could do demos for in the meeting room, which she's not too sure about, but she's going to check that out for me too. So.
Okay. Yeah. And you always want to be just kind of open for opportunities, right? Wherever you can, and thinking more of who is out there that I can help. So I kind of did that with, my local gym, because it's all great when people go to the gym, but they still need to know how to eat healthy. And that's where we kind of come in. So I kind of partnered up with them and have like a featured product of the month there. And we'll do like meal prep classes. And really, you guys have such a gift, that we're not just selling a spatula. It's really helping people eat better, healthier, get quick dinner on the table. So, I always think I'm happy I joined Pampered Chef, because I could have totally joined something else because I didn't even know what I signed up for. So kind of works out. Michelle has a question. She says, I would say call them The baby's a little fuzzy. My issue is with organization and not getting lost in my tasks. I thought you had mentioned Google Calendar overdraft in Williamsburg, adding tasks or checklists. What are your tips on staying organized with the many virtual parties and cooking shows to keep dropping the ball? Okay, let me share. Yeah, maybe you guys can see it. My best, you guys ready? My best organizational tip I have that has kept me sane. I would probably say just the last 2 years. It hasn't even been that long. So I don't want to take it off the wall, but let me see if I can show you. Okay, so basically, I recommend go on Google and search for a just general weekly calendar. Let's see how close I can get. Oh, let me go and stick a view. Hold on. I don't know. Can you guys see that at all? Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so get a general weekly calendar, all right? And, you know, from whatever time you get up to whatever time you go to bed. So mine typically goes from like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Like I got to go to bed at 10 or I'm not going to function the next day. And then you take different colors. So green should be your cooking shows or your Facebook Lives, you know, anything where green, like you're making money. I use yellow, kind of like happy, sunny, you know, family time. Then my me time, like my miracle morning in the morning, and then my gym time, and then my office time. And, you know, when are you going to be off? So all of you guys, you know, if possible, you need a day or two off as well, where you just kind of deplug. And maybe you're checking on your virtual parties while you drink your coffee Sunday morning. Like, I don't really consider that work because I play on my computer anyways, but I'm saying, you know, like kind of like be able to just kind of shut off. So that has really helped me. And what that also shows you is that it's flexible. So if you work full time, this is probably all, you know, your work. But let's say you decide Wednesday evening is my cooking show and I don't have a cooking show, then that should be turned into office time until you have a cooking show. Or maybe it's office time Wednesday night and, you know, your family's like, hey, you know, come over for dinner or whatever. That's fine. You can change it, right? Because your business is flexible, but that means you can't just delete it. You have to replace it and now put this block somewhere else. So that has really helped me. And it actually shows you that we all have the same amount of hours. And even if you sleep, like I said it on the will call, I don't know who was on that call, but you know, if you actually sleep 8 hours a day, you work 40 hours a week, all this stuff, that you still actually have a ton of hours, but you need to know what you're doing during those hours. That, and kind of create some kind of schedule, because all of you guys are in this program because you want more. So we are taking, you know, our business from, if it even was, or whatever, maybe a hobbyist level to a career level, right? But that doesn't mean you have to work 40 hours a week, all right? As a senior executive director, this is my full-time job. I have 41 hours a week, but you guys don't even have to get close to that, okay? If you work 10 hours a week, that should be plenty. But obviously, if you have the time and you want to invest more time because you know you're in it for the long run and you want to make as much money as you can, then do it, but just be focused, right? And make sure you put your family, whatever you do on a regular basis, on there first, and then look at where are my pockets of time that I could do this. And maybe you don't get 4 hours, you know, back to back to work in the office, but maybe it's 1 hour here and 1 hour there, but that 1 hour, actually knowing what you're doing during that 1 hour is going to be very helpful. Does that make sense? Does that help you, Michelle? Oh, she can't talk. So the other thing she was talking about is a Google Calendar. So I'm an electronic person, but if you have a paper calendar, fine. But everything you need to do needs to be somehow on your calendar. I like to use Google Calendar because I can set reminders, so it'll notify me, you know, 10 minutes before, an hour before, 4 weeks before if I wanted to. And, you know, as you're doing your parties, your customer follow-ups, putting them in there. Or if someone says, oh, I can't do a party right now, but contact me in the spring, that contact needs to be in your calendar. You know, March 12th, contact Claudia, she said spring. So eventually you're going to have an ongoing list of follow-ups and things to do, and maybe you don't get it done right that day, and then you're able to just kind of move it. But that way you don't forget anything. And if it's not on my calendar, it's not going to happen. Does anyone have questions about that? Was that helpful?
That, Claudia, that is so funny, because last night I was up till 1:30 in the morning doing that exact calendar on my computer.
There you go. And it's so funny. This is like the only thing that is on paper, but because I felt like I had to color in the blocks, like to make me feel like, I did it right.
I was able to color in the blocks on my Excel, and then I just have it on my computer so I can just pull it up to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it doesn't mean it can't change, right? It can change, but it's going to eventually develop you into your perfect schedule, right? So
Right.
You guys want this to be like a business. You want to get paid like this is a real job. So we need to act like we are going to work, right?
Uh-huh.
Who else has questions, comments, struggles? Michelle, is there a calendar, task, skills, training? Okay, so if you go, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Claudia's PC Kitchen. It's actually mostly for consultants. So if you go through some of my training videos, there's one that I kind of talk about my Google Calendar and how it works. I don't want to share my screen now because it's probably going to scare you guys away. All right, what else? What else are we doing? Who needs help to get to where they want to be this month or next month or whenever you decide to go for it?
Do we have good virtual party people that have scripts for setting it up in Scent Share? Because I've got 2 that I'll be doing this month, and just having something. I did find one that Ryan Garcia did last fall, and I don't know if people updated theirs regularly that made them available for others to share, if there's a central repository for that.
Okay, so there is, I don't use Cinchip, but I don't know who does, but there is a group, Paper Chef virtual party groups, where sometimes people share templates or whatever, or since you're part of our team, if you go to the Landy Chef and the pinned post is the virtual party training, and there is an Evernote that just has all the posts, so you can take them and just put them into your Share as well.
Okay.
Okay. So how are we doing with shows? Do we have the shows that we need? Do we need more shows?
I need more shows.
I don't think you ever have enough shows.
That's very true. You can never have enough shows. Okay, so what are you guys doing to get more shows? Anybody have any tips?
One of the things for me, and I'm a little bit different because I've got a little bit of extra disposable income. So right now, I definitely want to try to make money from the shows I do, but I'm willing to give up some of that to develop my customer base. So for new people, I'm giving them an incentive. So if they have a qualified party, I may give them a personal $20 credit as an incentive. And that's helped me land a few parties. Because right now, getting exposure to the other customers is my greatest goal at this time, or biggest challenge. So that's helping me. And I'm in a position where I can do that without worrying about suffering too much down the road.
Yeah, and something you can also do, if you're really trying to, I know some of you guys are virtual, some of you guys do cooking shows, but as far as cooking shows, sometimes I like to, reach out to people and say, hey, I'm testing some new recipes this month. I would love to showcase it off to you and your friends. I bring all the groceries. You just invite your friends and get rewards. What do you think? And I might just bring the ingredients for a recipe. It's going to be a cheap recipe, or it's going to be like a $10 recipe. But that, and then you can write it off on your taxes as well. But Tina says, I need more shows. I struggle with what words to use when asking someone to book. Okay, so first of all, I actually have this thing on my team page where sometimes I get, other direct sellers messaging me about having a party for them or whatever. And their words just make me want to cringe, all right? Because it's all about them, right? So when you go out there and ask for bookings, you need to show them how this is helpful to them, all right? Sometimes you have friends, right? You can just be like, hey, brother, hey, sister, I need a party. You're doing it, right? Especially if you get started. It's not going to help you in the long run, right? So maybe saying, hey, Nikki, I know you're a busy mom. Your husband's gone here and there, and you probably struggle with what's for dinner, right? So listen, I have like a bunch of recipes that are 30 minutes or less that I would love to show to you and your other busy moms. And in return, you'll also get some free Pampered Chef, and we'll just have a good time. How does that sound? Okay, personal. Hey, Jason, oh my gosh, I saw that you love to cook and you're sharing recipes. And, I have this new cooking theme, burgers, shakes, and whatever. And I thought of you right away. What do you think? Can we get some friends together and, cook together? Right? I really don't like to use party. It's a party, but it really should be also educational. If you're doing virtual parties, right, you can use images from the party packs and create a theme around it, right? So, hey, Leanne, I just saw that you, she's going to kill me now because I called her out. I just saw that you're doing keto and you're trying to eat healthier, and I have this new healthy theme virtual party I would love to test out on you. Do you want to be my guinea pig? And in return, you'll get some free Pampered Chef. Super easy. What do you say? So really short and sweet, all right? We don't want these like, if I see a message and I already see it's like this long, I don't even want to read it. Now, I'm a nice person. Regardless of who messages me, I always say no thank you or appreciate it, good luck on your business, because I hate when people don't respond to me. So, but one of the other tips is, don't end your sentences with let me know. So my team knows. Those are like my dreaded 3 words, let me know. Because that doesn't encourage me or make me jump up and like want to respond to you, because it's like, all right, well, let me know. Okay, bye. But, some of the words that I like to use is, can we make it happen? How does it sound? What do you think? Right? Anything like that. So what else can we do today to get more shows?
So I did the birthday thing back in January. If you
share that.
So if you go to your events and then you click on birthdays, it'll show you who has a birthday this month.
Oh, wow.
I took I sent a message to every single person who had a birthday this month, and I'm going to read what I wrote. I said, hey, I know January is your birthday, and I wanted to offer up a way to celebrate with you. I would love to host a Facebook Pampered Chef birthday party with you. It's super easy. The week of your birthday, we make a Facebook event, invite your friends. I show off recipes, kitchen products. We play games and give away prizes, and you get free stuff for your birthday. And I sent that to like 13 people, and I got 4 parties.
So Nikki, post those words, okay? Because I'm sure people are like,
Yep. Well,
that's a good idea, and I need to add that to my monthly to-do list because I love how personal it is,
Yep. It worked out great, and I got 2 shows off of it this month. So,
yeah, definitely. So, more shows. Any other tips? Get more shows?
I'm asking people if they've created a wish list on my business page when I'm having the dialogue with them. And I've had people send me their wish list, and then I look at it, and if there's something on there that's the host special, then I ask them, or I let them know, you can get that for like the 4-quart every the crock pot thing, the rock crock, for $67.60 versus the $169 that it is on their wish list. I've just started that because I just started in October, and I'm just now getting to my customer care, and I'm kind of wanting to open a dialogue more right now than just hitting them with, I'm trying to, especially people that were from my launch party that know me. I don't want them to be like, oh, now she's just all about that.
So if you've been around for a little bit and people have created a wish list, going back to that and finding out who did, and whether it's a host special or not, it's always the best month to host this month because they can get it for half price.
True. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's always the best month right now. And the other thing, yes, you're absolutely right. So if you have done a couple parties, maybe you're new and you've only done, 6 parties or whatever, or whether you've been around for a while, customer care is very crucial to this business, okay? So what I don't want you guys to do is say, hey, did you enjoy your products? Did you take them out of the box? And this is a special, and if you have this party, you get this, and then right? So reach out first and be like, hey, I just want to do, pop in, say, are you enjoying your chapo, or are you enjoying your stone? Did you take it out of the box, and do you need some new recipes? And if they don't even respond to that, then there's no need to go into anything else, right? But maybe that's a good way to just kind of strike up the conversation, give them service, send them a recipe, and then be like, hey, by the way, whatever excites you, to help them and see if they want to do a party.
So if they don't respond to that first message, what do you do? Do you go back later, or you're just done with it?
So I do the 2x2x2s. So basically I thank them 2 days after the party. And then I message them 2 weeks after the party. Did you get your products? Is everything good? Nothing broken, right? Did you take it out of the box? And then I message them 3 months after the party again. Are you still enjoying your products? Do you need any recipes? And if they never respond, they never respond. But at least I know I did my part.
Okay.
Right. And sometimes I tell that to people at my show too, and be like, I know you probably think I'm just here, I'll take your money and run, but I'm actually going to take care of you and make sure you enjoy your products.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. So, Leanne, I need at least 2 more shows, working on it, but school is my priority, so it's kind of rough. Okay. So again, you have to prioritize, right? So school comes first, just like others, full-time work comes first, right? And then seeing where are my pockets of time and what could I do during those pockets of time. So if you have a list of 15 contacts and when you have those, a little bit of time, then you can get to work. And sometimes we need a break from school, right? So just a little bit of breather. But yeah, obviously whatever is your priority in life, that has to come first, and then you go and get your shows, right? But the other thing too, all of you guys want that more paycheck. Maybe you're still eligible for the fast track bonus. Maybe you have, I see some kids on here. So maybe you have family, right? So think about, what is that going to look like when you reach your goal this month and you get the paycheck March 7th. Next month, you get the paycheck April 7th. And include your family or your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever in the celebration, right? So, okay, when I promote, my average paycheck is going to be $1,000 to $1,800. What am I going to do with that, and how could I take a part of this and celebrate with my family, because this is a family business, right? So your board of directors are right there at home with you, right? They're like your little CEOs. So involving them so they know that they get rewarded too is definitely very helpful. So I'm a big fan of that. So my kids always know that they get something out of me if I'm working hard. And it just, it's just fun to celebrate with them. So, okay. So what about recruiting? How is that going for anyone as far as creating leads and word choices and getting them to jump the fence?
I guess I could use some help with word choices because definitely hadn't had any people showing interest in being consultants so far.
Okay, so how do you typically approach it?
I probably don't sell it enough. I do it as part of my closing, trying to go, based on some of the scripts and things I've watched on the Pampered Chef site. One of my problems I've had so far with the majority of my parties have been with family members. And so sometimes I think they don't show us much respect for the event as if I were doing it for people that I knew less. And so it's been hard to make those conversations happen. Most of them are, I'm just here to support you, not interested in the business. I'm hoping, because some of the parties that are coming up, one of the things, I've got 2 family members doing parties, but one of the things I have emphasized to them is you have to invite people that haven't been to the first 3 or 4 parties, because they're already probably spent out right now, and it'll be more helpful to have new people there. And then I'm hoping that I can start having those conversations. And I've been watching the videos and different stuff, learning different approaches to it, of how to maybe get their interest in it more.
Yeah, and if you guys are struggling with having parties with friends and family, and they're kind of like, don't worry, I got this, you can just say, hey, you know what? For my training, I have to practice these host coaching words, or these recruiting words or whatever. Can I just test them out on you? That we're just kind of like hinting at it, and they're like, okay, and it just gets you more comfortable as well. What else are we doing to get some new team members? Whose lives are you guys gonna change? You have a pretty big gift to offer to people.
Claudia,
Yes.
what do you say to people?
What do I say to people?
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? You reminded me. I need to post my little recruiting checklist. Or if anybody on here has it, just post it. But my biggest leads are my hosts. Okay, so I recruited 9 people last month, and I would probably say 7 of them were hosts. And they're already halfway in the door, right? How many of you guys were hosts before you joined? Okay, right? And that always happens. You go to conference, you go to some kind of meeting, 80% of the people in the room used to host parties because they're already excited, right? They're already opening their house, or they're already running a virtual party. Why not try it and make money off of it? So I give my hosts the option to turn it into a launch party if they decide to join, 5 days before the cooking show or before the virtual party starts. And I just tell them, part of your hostess rewards, part of doing a party with me is that you're actually eligible to not just get the hostess rewards, but also make money off this party. Are you in the market for some extra income? All right, now that's a personal decision you have to decide, because if you give them the party, then you're not getting the sales, right? But I feel like I'm just setting them up for success that way regardless. And I feel like it also gives them a little deadline of like, okay, like if you really want to do this, I got to do this before orders come in or before Claudia shows up at my door, right? And then during the party, and a lot of times, well, actually most of the times, they're never saying, yeah, sure, of course, sign me up, right? They're like, of course I'm in the market for some extra income, but I could never do what you do. Or, but I'm already so busy. I go to school full time. Or, but no, I have like 4 kids. There's no way I have time for this. Those things are good because they just don't believe that they can, and that's where you come in and say you help them overcome it, right? So you could just say, you know what, I know you're busy, but if you could really use an extra couple $100, you could even do this all virtual. I know you probably think I'm posting all these things. Tell this to your folks, right? But everything's automated, because a lot of times people don't think they have time because they see like your 50,000 posts go up, and they don't realize that it's all automated. And then, just kind of plant the seed. And then I keep planting the seed throughout the party. Oh my gosh, I just created the event and you already have like 10 people going. Like, your friends obviously love Pampered Chef. Like, are you sure you don't want to make money off this party? Stuff like that. Or maybe they're posting all the time, or they're doing a great job getting people to the party. Like, you're already doing my job. Like, just letting you could still take the kit credit and take the bookings from this party. So it doesn't always have to be, would you like to join my team? Just like little hints like that, and figuring out how this business could really help them.
How do they get the kit credit if they've already purchased the kit before the party?
Then they don't. So there's 2 options, right? They either join before the party and take the money, or they join after the party and take the kit credit. So I typically don't talk about the kit credit unless the party's already started and we have orders. Then I might say, okay, I know you didn't want to join before your party, but I did want to let you know you just hit a $300 level or $400 level. You can actually now save $25 or $50 of the kit, making your starter kit only. Did you even check them out? Here's my link. So if you guys go to your website and you click on Become a Consultant and copy that link that says pamperedchef.be a consultant, send it to them and be like, hey, which kit would spark your interest? Because once they see those kits, a lot of times they're like, oh, well, you know. And then I definitely asked them before I closed the party one more time. Hey, just gotta ask you one more time. You did awesome. You earned, $25 kid credit. I got 2 bookings for you. Are you sure you don't want to do this? Okay.
At the end of the show, I found that it was really helpful to be like, hey, I just made $120 off of your show. Wouldn't you want that?
Yes, you have to talk money. All right, money is volume. Even if you do one virtual party, you made $100 and you didn't even leave your house, like that's crazy, right? So even going back to some of your past hosts and say, hey, I know I was new when I started and I never really asked you, but I did want to let you know I made this much of your party, or I've been averaging this per month doing 1 virtual party or 2 cooking shows or whatever you're doing. Could you use an extra couple $100, right? Most people don't join Pampered Chef thinking they're going to make thousands of dollars, but they would be happy with just an extra couple $100 where, they can make a car payment, they can do a couple grocery runs, they can fill the gas tank, they could sign up the kids for sports clubs or whatever. And that's how you can help them. And we are in a gig economy. Like, so many people have gigs, right? They work full time and they have side gigs all the time. And this is what this business could be for them as well. But you got to ask, and you can't be afraid, and you can't prejudge, okay? So don't talk them out of it before you even ask. Well, I know I just wanted to ask, but I know you're busy and you're a busy mom, so I totally know if you can't do it, okay? Like, don't. Just promise yourself, don't prejudge, because sometimes the people that, you might be like, yeah, I don't know, are actually the ones struggling and could use some help.
So if they buy their kit before their launch party, then they get the commission and all of that. But if they use the kit credit, then
you get
we as consultants get the commission?
Yeah, then it's your party.
Okay.
So it's personal preference, whatever works for you guys.
Okay, and how does the kit credit work as far as then their host benefits? Does that replace?
Yeah, so basically the kit credit is part of the free, right? So if they earn $90 in free and they use $50 kit credit, it's kind of like a coupon, a $50 free coupon that's like attached. They still have their $40 left that you submit the party, and then they can go in and order the kit right away and get $50 off the kit. And if you don't offer your hosts the kit credit, guys, you're literally telling them or keeping them away from a hostess reward, right? So you would never close a party and say, oh, you didn't earn any half price items, right? It's just like another column, free, half price, 20, 30% off, kit credit. Like it's part of the hostess reward. So has anybody started asking? Maybe you're getting some objections and you don't know what to say. Okay, so if you have not asked, then we know what's missing, right? And that's what this group is for. So maybe, reach out to your team page or utilize this Beyond group and post some screenshots. My team is big on screenshots. I get tons of screenshots. I love it. And that's where we can help you overcome those objections. So, post some screenshots. Okay, I took these exact words and just copy them, all right? I'm always a big believer, if someone has something that I want and they tell me to do it, I do it. I don't ask questions, I just do it. Okay, who else? Yeah, I was a host. I love that take. Just another item on the list. Yep, you have to offer the kid credit. Like, there's no choice. Yay, Leanne, awesome. She's going down the list, making contacts weekly. And yeah, definitely just keep asking. And sometimes it might feel like you're working overtime, right? You're asking, people are saying no, people are not responding. But just like Jason said at the beginning, consistency is the key. And what you're gonna find is that whatever you do now doesn't affect your business tomorrow, but it's gonna affect your business 3 to 6 weeks from now. So you're kind of like, right now planting all those seeds, and then all of a sudden those seeds are coming back to you and people are like, oh yeah, I forgot to reply to you. Yeah, I'll have a party. Or oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, sign me up or whatever, right? So, and then people also all of a sudden come to you and be like, hey, I need to place an order. What else? You got like
I
15
have a
more minutes.
question.
Yeah.
I have a question. What did you mean by do screenshots?
Okay, so if you're messaging your host or virtual party, whatever, and you're saying those words, hey Kathy, so excited about your party. I did want to let you know that one of the perks that you have with this party is obviously your hostess rewards, but you can actually make money of this party as well. So I wanted to ask you, are you in the market for some extra income? Right? You've messaged it out, then they reply back to you, and you can take a screenshot so you can like save your screen. Every phone's different. So whatever phone you have, you need to Google how to take a screenshot with my whatever, Google Pixel, whatever you have, right?
Yeah.
And it tells you, like mine is like the on button and the down, and it takes a picture of your screen, and then people just message it to me and be like, oh my God, what do I say? Help.
Yeah. All right. Okay, gotcha.
And I used to do that all the time, so that's what it's normal. Hold on, let me close my door. One sec. All right, what else? What else can I help you with? Did we learn something so far?
Yeah, lots.
Yay. That's good.
I agree. It's definitely been very beneficial for me. Part of me is wondering, do I go use my lunch break for my workout today, or do I come to this? And I'm definitely glad that I came to the meeting.
Yeah, and that's the other tip is surround yourself with like-minded people. All right. Any training that you can attend, if possible, local meetings, virtual meetings, schedule those, make time for those, because you never know what you're going to pick up. And sometimes it might be the same thing you already heard 5 weeks ago, but all of a sudden it clicks. It's the weirdest thing, right? Or, you always pick something up. And feeding your brain, you guys all want to be leaders in this company with audiobooks or self-development books or personal development books, anything like that, is always good too. You don't have to read 50,000 books, in a week, but even just 15, 30 minutes a day. Audible.com is great. You get I think 1 or 2 books for free, not for free, right, with your subscription. And while you're driving, while you're on the treadmill, while you're in the gym, while you're doing the dishes, you should always be feeding yourself as well. But surround yourself with like-minded people like this group, right? Reach out to someone that you look up to, or maybe you are connecting with someone. Be like, oh my God, you have a little baby, I have a little baby. Hey, let's do this together. Or reaching out to someone that's completely different than you is fun too, because that way you guys are bringing different things to the table. But having some kind of accountability partner is definitely key. Someone that says, whether it's in your home, whether it's a friend, your director, another consultant, somebody on this group that says, when you doubt yourself, they're there to kind of, pick you back up. So, okay, anything else, guys?
Just one thing. I know during the spring launch party, I was at the Karen Smith's house, and she had some.
You're so lucky.
Yeah, she said it has some audio CDs that she had gotten over the years. One of them is Go for No, talking about no isn't a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But the website is goforno.com. And then another set of CDs that she shared that have been beneficial and encouraging to me is stepintosuccess.com. Has some very good training CDs on even giving you approaches of what to say and how to do parties as far as presenting your product line. So they're not strictly towards Pampered Chef, but the set of rules apply to anything, and it's been very beneficial to me.
Yeah, awesome. Way to go. How many posts a day do you do in your virtual parties? It does, it,
A lot.
a lot. So first of all, there's no right or wrong way, okay? We have successful consultants that do 45-minute parties. We have successful consultants that do 3-day, 5-day, 14 days, I think is the longest I've heard. Take whatever your coach gives you, your director, to get you started, then tweak it from what works for you, okay? So virtual parties have been around for a couple of years now, and I started with like live parties, then I started with 14 days, then we went down to 7, now we're down to 5. So just whatever works for you, whatever you think is good. But I think, we're definitely gearing towards less is more. And, using the virtual party packs. And there is training coming, guys. I'm not sure when. I kind of thought it was already out there, but Pampered Chef is working on virtual, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Virtual party packs, and I think they should be coming by the end of the month. So always, but you should have some kind of base outline and then tweak it. The more personal you can make it, the better of a relationship you can build with your customers. So taking pictures of you in your kitchen with your husband, spouse, kids, or whatever is definitely fun and makes it relatable, so you're not just another person behind the screen.
I have a question.
Like I have a Valentine's theme party coming up this week. So I'm going in and adding all the hearts and the flowers and the chocolate fondues and things of that nature to the post my party stuff that you've already given us, and just kind of tweaking it a little bit. She's excited, so we'll see.
Yeah, and if you have a basic template, I'm talking post my party, I don't know how Cynthia works, but if you have a basic template, you can copy it, so you have another one, and then make it your Valentine's Day theme, all right? And then maybe next month you want to do one pot meals. Copy it again, copy from the basic, and add your one pot meal. Or maybe someone wants like a vegan party, whatever. Just use your base and then leave room to do some personal add-ons. And ask your virtual party group people, hey, what does anybody have any dietary needs? Do you guys need any specific recipes? I would love to do some research for you and help you.
Well, I'm keto, so I kind of take certain things and tweak them that I post on my personal page, because a lot of my friends are keto. So it kind of helps out a lot.
Right, and you're teaching them, then everything's tweakable, right?
Yep.
Someone else had a question?
Yeah, I do, about virtual parties. I've never done a virtual party, and I really want to get started in it. And I also have a person under me that wants to learn how to do it, and I want to be able to help her with that. I have no idea how to even start.
Who's your upline?
My director is Donna Marshall.
Who's your executive from this team?
My executive, actually, Marna Ross is my executive for this group.
Okay, so I would reach out to her or your team page, right? I'm sure you guys have a team page. And be like, hey, I'm finally ready to start virtual parties. Who's going to help me? Who's got a step? I'm assuming they probably have something for you to get you going.
Okay. All right. Okay, good.
Okay, anything else? Everybody feeling pumped for the week? Okay.
One tip that I had for my virtual parties, you gave us a training with that woman who makes like $4,000 a month doing virtual parties alone. The one thing that she said that really stuck with me and I've started doing and people are like enjoying it, I group my posts. So I do 3 posts at 9 a.m., I do 2 posts at like 1 p.m. and I do 3 posts at like 5 p.m. And that way they're not getting 12 different notifications all day long. When you group them all within like a 10-minute block, it just gives them one notification.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to change mine. I have mine set to where it's like every 3 or 4 hours, but I think grouping might work well.
And I think, Leanne, I don't know if I don't think you have our newest version. So remind me and I'll send it to you.
Send me that, because I probably do not.
Yeah.
Is that something that you can post on this group?
I can't share my outline because it's for my team. And then if too many people use it, then I get put in Facebook jail.
Okay.
promise you that your executive director has something for you to get you going.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, guys? All righty. So go book more parties. Go ask every host more than once. Promise yourself. And ask money, talk money, and we will see you. My phone keeps ringing today. We will see you Tuesday on the next call. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.